Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Maurice. This is Member Brown. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfectly. Thank you.
Hello, I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here.
Good morning. We start the meeting at 9:30. When the rest of the board comes on, we will begin the meeting. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marlene.
Morning.
Good morning, Ms. Barnes.
Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Go ahead, Liz. It's 9:30. Let's get started.
Thank you. Can you hear me? I'm using a headset this
Yes, we
morning.
can.
Awesome. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activate by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that calling users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Before we call the roll, everyone, I want to announce that we do have a new board member. Her name is Nina Holzer, and we're very happy to have her. So once Ms. Faith gets back, we will have a full complement of board members once again. So today we only have 4, but we've been rolling with 4 for a long time, so everyone's used to that. So I will hand it over to our attorney to swear Ms. Holzer in.
I don't know if I see her.
Yeah, I don't see her either.
Let me email her. Please stand by. Okay, I sent her the link again. Oh, there she is. I see her name.
Sorry, okay.
Okay, go ahead and swear Ms. Holzer in, please.
Okay, I, Nina Holzer,
I, Nina Holzer,
do solemnly swear that I will support
do solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Charter of the City of Cleveland,
and the Charter of the City of Cleveland,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of the Board of Zoning Appeals
discharge the duties of the Board of Zoning Appeals
of the City of Cleveland during my continuance in said office.
of the City of Cleveland during my continuance in Oh, I missed the last part.
Said office.
Said office, thank you.
All right. Welcome, Nina.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
now that we have our new members sworn in, Ms. Kukla, can you call the roll, please?
Sure thing. Ms. Brown,
Present.
Ms. Barnes,
Here.
Ms. Holzer,
Here.
Ms. Britt.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
All right. Postponements?
Have two in front of you. The first one is calendar number 22-73 regarding 1725 Holmden Avenue. Fisher and Payne LLC owner proposed to change use of a two-family dwelling to a three-family located in a B1 two-family residential district. The councilwoman has requested a postponement for further review. We have July 11th available for that date. The July 18th would work, of course, as well.
Let's do the 18th.
Okay. And the next one that we have for you is calendar number 22-095 regarding 722 East 92nd Street. Jacqueline Kelly, owner, proposed to install 160 linear feet of 6 feet high wooden fence in a B1 two-family residential district. In this case, the appellant had a scheduling conflict and was not able to attend the hearing this morning. So I think that July 11th would be the best sooner date. if that
Yeah,
would
it's
be
just
all
a,
right with you.
yeah, it's just a fence. That works.
Yeah. All right, and that's all that we have this morning for postponements or withdrawals.
All right, thank you. All right, Maurice, do we have any council people here?
I do not see any today.
All right, well, we'll go with the first case on the agenda. With the absence of Ms. Faith, I'll go ahead and read it. So we're at calendar number 22-054 at 2304 Broadview Road. Barry Post, owner, proposes to use lot, excuse me, lot for storage in a 20 by 8 metal shipping container in a C2 local retail district. The owner appeals from relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and in the public record. And I'll hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Good morning. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
My name is John Barry Post. 0 Fitch Road. We are talking about 234 Broadview Avenue. And I have no volume on my side. I can hardly hear.
Actually,
what
sir,
anybody's
if you
saying.
would please just say I do, and we
I
will
do.
begin the hearing.
I can hardly hear you, ma'am. Terry.
Ah,
Someone tried to call me, and I got rid of the phone call, and all of a sudden now I have no volume on my WebEx part. So I don't know what I have to hit to hear.
do you, Madam Chair, would it be advisable to have him to hang up and dial back in?
Yeah, we can try that. Mr. Post, do you think
Okay.
calling,
I'll try that. Thank you.
so do you hear all of us now?
Leaving the meeting. Fixed up. Leave meeting. Oh, I'm supposed to know how to do this stuff.
Mr. Post, we hear you.
Pardon me?
We hear you.
I know, but I can't hear you. That's the problem. I hit leave the meeting X on the bottom, but I'm still with you guys. Ma'am, I'm a retired carpenter. This computer stuff is beyond me. as I tried to call Liz earlier today, your network connection is poor. We deleted. So big. Oh boy, this is, yeah. Okay, I know I'm speaking and I can't hear you. I'm sorry, very sorry. Why? This recorded, unlocked. All right, video. There's my video. How do
Liz or Maurice,
I
someone want to try to work with him offline?
Yes, Madam Chair, if you wanted to hold on a moment, I'll call him and give
Okay.
him the number to call in.
Okay.
Well, should we continue swearing people in?
Yep.
Anyone else here for this case?
Yes, Lucas Reeve here from the Old Brooklyn CDC.
Thank you.
Yes, Johnny Sharon is also here from Old Brooklyn CDC.
What was your name again?
Johnny's Sharon.
Janice. Okay. All right, we'll give Liz another minute or two. If not, we'll just move on to the next case and try to plug him in later.
easier? Go back on WebEx.
Madam Chair, are you able to hear him?
I hear him now, yes.
Yep.
He's on my phone. If you like, we could do it this way.
Okay.
Um,
We can hear him.
Mr. Post, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna do it through the phone.
thank
Does
you.
that sound good? Okay,
Whatever's easier.
all right.
All right, yeah, we can hear him fine. Okay, good.
Excellent.
All right, everyone sworn in. History of the property, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. 1929, this property was zoned semi-industry. In 1940, it was changed to general retail, and in 1991, it was changed to the local retail business district. Madam Chair, I think the most important or pertinent information is that in calendar number 19-031, this board granted a temporary variance to install a shipping container to store material and tools. At that time, the board granted the variance based upon a new plan showing a smaller container than what was proposed and a larger setback, with the condition that the structure will be removed after 1 year. And at that time, the specific date was June 1st, 2020, as being the date that it should be removed. And Madam Chair, I believe that's all that's important to state at this time.
Great, thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance from the regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay, Liz, so is it that the container is still on there? Okay, there it is. All right. Alrighty. So he has gone beyond the the time limit we gave him previously for this.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Mr. Post, go ahead.
Situation with COVID and everything that's happened in the last couple of years, I wasn't able to do anything on the property because I'm in the process of restoring a farmhouse out here. To break into the property, and both times didn't get in the property, but they did substantial damage, and they have damaged the container trying to get into. I have tools and I have materials.
He keeps going in and out.
Okay.
Oh,
So, okay, so could you repeat that, or Madam Chair, how much did you hear? Do you want him to repeat everything again?
I just heard the beginning part, so he should just repeat everything.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Could you explain that again? Sorry.
yes, the container to stay there forever, but one of the council, or one of the community development ladies was at the meeting, and she said she only wanted it there for a year, which I told her I'd like to have it there for more, because I'm using it more or less as a garage. It's a secure item that I can lock. I'm storing all my materials, and I have tools in there that I use. The COVID thing happened. I've ran into a little financial problem. My son is in the process of probably taking the property over, but I haven't been able to do anything as I wanted to on the property. We've had 2 break-ins this last year that one was covered under the insurance, the other one we didn't bother with, busted out all the front windows that we put glass in. And it's just, the area is not the most safest area right now. It is turning around. It's a nice facility. But I need to have that container there for another couple of years. If you could find it within your heart to allow me to do that. I've had no problems with the neighbors next door where the container is. We're in contact with them constantly, and they have no problem with the container being there. So I tried to go through Cassandra before she went out to the airport, and she was trying to help me do it, but then it would have cost me $50 at the time when I tried to do this last December to appeal it. But something happened, she sent the money back, and then I had to go through the whole process of going down to the building department and spending $150 to have this, so I can go in front of in my situation. But COVID being what it was has really put a damper on me, and my son is in the process of trying to take the property over for his own. So I'm that we could, you find it within your heart to give me a couple more years to get this thing taken care of. Like I said, I have lawnmowers in there and get it, as soon as you turn your back in this neighborhood, people take advantage of you. So the container has been advantageous for keeping a lot of my equipment and materials safe.
Okay, thank you. Liz, what was the date, expiration date we put on the old variance?
2020,
2020.
June 1st.
2020. So it's June 1st, almost June 1st, 2022. So essentially, we've already given you 2 years. Okay.
Actually, 3.
Yeah, seriously.
3 years.
Okay, Mr. Reed from Old Brooklyn.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair. I'll be brief. I think in our view, what is not shown here, certainly this morning, we are reviewing the shipping container and its status, but the building that is along Broadview remains a detracting property within one of our key commercial districts, significant exterior disrepair. And our understanding was that previously the approval for the shipping container was to facilitate the work to make improvements to the building, which are, you know, vastly needed. And so I think at this time, you know, our take on it is since 2019, there's really been no work done at all, and that the shipping container in some ways now actually contributes to the condition of the property, which is very poor. So certainly our desire would be for the building to be rehabs and leased and occupied, but we don't see a clear path to that at this time. So from the CDC standpoint, our view would be to not support this variance.
Thank you. Ms. Sharon, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, Madam Chair, I just echoed the same sentiments as Lucas.
Okay, thank you. Maurice, City Planning?
Madam Chair, after hearing Mr. Reeves' comments and the fact that this gentleman has had 3 years to make some kind of improvements and progress on this building, and as you can see from the photographs, nothing has happened in 3 years. So I have to agree with Mr. Reeve, and I really don't see a reason to extend this temporary situation to become a permanent situation. We really are not interested in seeing shipping containers sitting out on side yards here like this, 3 feet off of the neighbor's property. I think it's somewhat of an eyesore, to tell you the truth. So we recommend disapproval of this.
Thank you. I open it up to my board now. Any questions?
Madam Chair, Mr. Post had some comments. I don't know if you want to take those at this time.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah, we'll
Post?
hear from him first. Go ahead, Mr. Post.
Yeah. COVID situation in this city. That's why we can't even have appearances in person because of the COVID situation. It's still going on. Materials have gone up 3 times. I mean, I don't know why I have to explain this. You know this from past experiences. Materials has almost tripled in price. The place has been, the whole place has been gutted. It's all cleaned out on the inside. We've reached out to the community development over there to see who would be interested in leasing the place, and nothing has ever happened. Jamie was the person that was involved. She never, I mean, outside of turning me in on the container after a couple of years, I know it's been there. But with all this COVID stuff that's been going on that I've had to deal with personally is really put a monkey wrench into a lot of situations in this city.
Yeah, we understand that, Mr. Post, but we're not here about the building. We're just here about the shipping container. And it has been there for 3 years. And if you have done no work on the building, then the shipping container was there contingent upon you doing work on the building. So if you're not able to work on the building right now, then the shipping container should not be sitting in the yard.
I'm just telling you that I'm SOL because the COVID has influenced a lot of people in this city, ma'am. And I think there should be some kind of sympathy for people that have to deal with this thing on the corner. I know it's on the corner. I know it's an eyesore. But financially, right now, I don't have the money.
I understand that, sir, but you're already in violation having the shipping container there for 2 years past your expiration date. So I'm gonna open it up to my board members right now if they have any questions for you.
Madam Chair, I do. I appreciate the comments from Mr. Post, but I also noticed from the pictures that, weeds are growing around the shipping container next to the neighbor's home, and there's debris in the parking lot. And I'm not sure that money or COVID delays prevent those conditions from being improved upon. So I'm asking Mr. Post, what are your immediate intentions for the building that it requires the use of the shipping container?
I is in the process of trying to take the building over from me, and without me just giving it to him. Some of his equipment inside the building. He's been paying me $1,000 a month for the last 2 years. I know this has nothing to do with the shipping container. Inside the shipping container is,
Mr. Post,
yes,
the question is, if your son is in the process immediately, my question was, what are the immediate intentions? So would he buy it in 30 days? It's an answer with a date is pretty important for me.
well, okay. I've been dealing this with my son and my financial advisor. And he has someone that will give him a loan on the property. It's a matter of him, he just got a permanent job, he just got hospitalization. And I was, the next 6 months, he's gonna take over ownership. And then from then on, then he'll be contacting someone for a loan in order to do the restoration on the inside of the property.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. It doesn't seem that
The owner
there's
of the property.
a firm plan.
No, it does not.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have one question. Sir, I would like to know what is your home address?
My home,
Where do you live? Yes.
You don't have to give us your full address, but just, you can
I
tell
want to
us
know
what
what city
area.
you in, and what area
Yeah.
you in.
in Olmsted Township, ma'am.
Okay, the question being, that is really ugly outside of this property, and I don't think they will have this next door to you.
And my son is supposed to be taking care of this situation. And this is the first time this brought up, because I've talked to him many times, and he says he's taking care of the situation. I'm finding out differently right now, which is one of my concerns, that I'll have to deal with him. This is none of your concern, I know, but he's supposed to take care of the property, which I see he has not been doing. Sorry, I'm restoring the township. And I'm 70 years old, and I used to work for the city as a carpenter.
Okay.
I guess I've kind of fumbled the ball on my end, allowing my son to right now, I think. Believe
Okay,
me.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Post. I'll have my board come with a motion, please.
Okay, Madam Chair, hearing no further questions from our board and reviewing the facts of the case, that the temporary permit expired on June 2020, and there are no immediate plans for the building that require the continued use of a shipping container, and that it is in violation of the codified ordinance. I move denial for the request for continued use of the shipping container. And this is related to calendar 22054.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second,
A second for Ms. Holzer. Go ahead, call the roll, Ms. Kugler.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-054 is denied. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Container off the property.
All right, thank you, Mr. Post.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the appellant asked how soon he would have to remove the container. I see Mr. Riccardi is on the line.
That's a building and housing question.
There's no authority to have it there. So it's not permitted to be there. So it wasn't permitted.
Sorry,
yesterday. So
sorry, Mr.
I would
Riccardi.
I would hire the truck to get it out of there. if it takes 24 hours, I guess it's okay, but
That's not gonna
as soon as
happen.
possible.
Yeah, Mr. Riccardi said as soon as possible because currently it's not allowed to be there. So,
The thing of it is, if Jamie wouldn't have opened her mouth when I first had the thing, it would have been there permanently. But now that I have to get rid of it, I need at least 6 months to get rid of it. I have to hire a company. I mean, I don't have any use for it. I don't even know what to do with it. I got to unload the equipment, put it back in the building, which is going to make it harder for me to do the work on side the building. So, just can I have
Mr. Post, you're gonna have to work that out offline. We can't work with you on when you have to get it done. You heard for building and housing that it needs to go immediately, so you'll have to work that out. All right, we'll move to the next case. Calendar number 22-02. Fisher and Payne LLC owner proposes to change use from 2-family residence to a 3-family dwelling in a B1 2-family district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and on the public record. And we'll hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, then state your name and your address, please.
I do. Thomas Fisher, 3204 West 98th Street.
Anyone else for this case? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, I found that in 1918, there was a 1-story addition and a private garage erected to a single-family home. 1958, there was a permit issued to construct foundation under dwelling. There were no variances on file, and then in the more recent history, we found that in 2013, a permit was issued to demolish a private garage. In 2018, rental registration was renewed. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance and area variances from the minimum lot area, maximum gross floor area, and parking regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Fisher, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead with your case.
I basically just want to state I purchased the property under the assumption that it was a 3-unit property. It was my fault at the time for not checking the county records that it's only zoned a 2-family. There is metering when I purchased it for it to be a 3-family home. I'll be honest with you, I'm currently purchasing a lot of homes on the near west side, renovating them, putting tens of thousands of dollars. I'm trying to make a better neighborhood, bring in better tenants and everything of that sort. And this seems to be a common occurrence that I'm coming across. So I would like to do everything I possibly can to try to get the zoning corrected on this one, but not only many future others that have similar instances.
So you have meters on the house for 3 units, but it's still only labeled as a 2-unit. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So was it, when you bought it, was it functioning as a 3? Because there is we have that issue too. There's a lot of illegal 3-family, so you probably just end up buying
Ye-
those. So the third
Yes, ma'am.
floor,
So
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 the
it
third
was
floor,
it
the
was
third
sold
floor
to
is
me.
functioning. Hold on. So the third floor is functioning as an apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So yeah, I come across this more and more frequently, and more lately I've been doing my research and trying to avoid buying such properties. But I'm happy to keep buying properties like this if we're able to get them properly corrected. I'd like to try to make things be legal and legit versus, you know, how a lot of these backyard landlords have things currently.
Backyard landlords. I like that. Okay. Maurice, can you go back to the floor plans just so I can see? So, Mr. Fisher,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just explain briefly what's your ingress and egress for the third floor particularly?
So the third floor, the only access is a rear staircase.
Okay.
However, we do provide an extra fire escape system that they could put out the rear window of the house to exit the home if necessary.
Okay, so the third floor can be accessed from inside, but separately. It's not connected to the bottom unit. I mean, the second floor unit.
No, it has its own separate staircase
Okay.
access. Yeah.
All right, and all the metering is there as appropriate. Okay. All right, Maurice, is this on you?
Yes, Madam Chair. I guess the one question is, they're cited for having 0 parking spaces, but as you can see from the aerial, it looks like there's at least 2. So to Mr. Fisher,
Right.
how many cars can you get in the rear?
So I'll be completely honest with you. It is a shared driveway. Currently, how you see there are 2 spots. There are actually 3 spots. However, if you look all the way to the right edge of the property, there's a failing retaining wall that through my, like, I'm trying to cash out refi the property so you can get some money back out of it. To fix that wall is like 20-30 grand. The city does have an active violation on it, but in speaking with the lead building officials, we probably will lose a spot because what we'll have to do is kind of do like a step down to take off the pressure of on that wall currently. So we will only have 2 spots, to be honest with you, unless they kind of squeeze a third back there. However, I've done a couple houses on this street already, and there's always been plenty of street parking when we've had trucks and whatnot out front.
Yeah, Madam Chair, that's we've had no objections from the neighbors, nothing from the CDC. So there are at least 2 parking spots. So the third spot would be hypothetically for the third floor unit, which is just a 1-bedroom unit. And there does appear to be ample street parking when I went down there. So we would recommend approval on this.
All right, thank you, Maurice. Board members? Any questions?
No.
If no questions, I entertain a motion.
Okay, Madam Chair, hearing no questions from the board members and hearing testimony from Mr. Fisher and City Planning, we move approval for calendar 2273 to convert to, I think that's the right one. No, calendar 22-78. That's the next one. Calendar 22-78, excuse me.
No, this is 22-72.
How did I get so confused? Thank you.
I don't know.
It's Monday.
I see. You know what? I have 2 separate pages. So out of all 3, I picked the wrong one. So we will go back to, I move approval for calendar 22-72, having heard testimony from Mr. Tom Fisher and City Planning to change the use from 2-family to 3-family. Given that the property was purchased under the assumption that it was a 3-family, that meters for utilities already existed and that there's a dedicated ingress and egress for the third floor unit. I move approval.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second, Ms. Barnes.
Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, Ms. Cooper.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-72 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, next case. 22-075 at 522 Literary Ave. Alex, let me see if I can zone in on this name. Demetrio?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, I did it right. Thanks.
Yeah, great job.
Proposes to erect a 155 linear feet of 6-foot high board-on-board fence in a B1 multifamily residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and on the public record. And to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Surely. For this case, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, state your name and your address, please.
I do. My name is Alex Demetrio, and the address is 522 Literary Road in Cleveland.
Corey Reardon. I do. Corey Reardon, Executive Director, Tremont West.
And then also I do Mike Gideon, 516 Literary Road.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, but first I would like to note that there is a correction to the write-up in that the appellant is actually requesting 8 feet instead of 6 feet. So I'll go ahead and read the history. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the Records Administration Office, I found that in 1896, a permit was issued to erect a 1-story hall. In 1909, a permit was issued to erect an addition. There are no variances on file and nothing of record in the more recent history.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the fencing regulation of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Okay, Mr. Demetrio, tell us what you want to do.
Okay, so just a little bit of backstory of this property. It was formerly a commercial property with an apartment on top. And over the last 15 months, it's gone through an extensive renovation to transition it to a single family residence for me and my family. So currently it's kind of a two-tiered strategy here. Currently, there is an existing 8-foot fence between my property line and my neighbor's property line, who is also on this call. And there is also an existing 8-foot fence that adjuts Literary Road on that side yard, which is obviously my new backyard for me and my children and my wife. And then there is a proposal to add fencing on the yard that is besides the garage space along the alleyway and along West 6th Street as well. And again, this is a yard space that I would like to use for my family and for my children to enjoy, excuse me. And I think it's important to have fencing around that area for their safety.
So you're continuing what is already there. So there's a 8-foot fence already there on part of the property, and you're continuing you want to continue it to take it all the way around.
That's correct. Just to, secure for the safety of my children.
Okay. And it will be a wood fence?
That's correct. It would be a decorative wood fence.
So board on board?
Correct, horizontal.
Mr. Gideon, are you the neighbor?
Yes, that is correct. I am directly next to Alex on 516.
And did you have anything you want to add?
Yes, I just wanted to be a part of today's call and support. There is an existing 8-foot fence that adjuts in between both of our properties that greatly benefits privacy for between us. So it's already existing. So I just wanted to make sure that if there's any questions or concerns in between our property or whether or not there's issues on my side, that there's not, in support of getting the variance approved.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gideon. Mr. Reardon at CDC.
North Literary Block Club and Tremont West Development Corporation have no objection as long as the neighbor was aware and did not object. Thank you.
Thank you. Maurice?
Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning. Yeah, so this is on an intersection here, as you can see. There's an alley here. We have never approved an 8-foot board-on-board fence in a residential district, to my knowledge, that I've been doing this. I don't see the need for an 8-foot high board-on-board fence in a residential district. I also do think that it creates somewhat of a hazard when somebody's either pulling in or pulling out of that alley, because you're effectively going to have no view once you pull up to the sidewalk. You'll have to pull into the street before you can even see if there's any cars coming. So I have some major concerns about an 8-foot fence, and as you know by the code, it actually can only be 2.5 feet in height at the intersection to allow people to be able to see when they're pulling out of that alley.
Maurice, I have a comment on that. And as you can see in the picture at the top left here, there's a car parked if I was pulling out of my driveway to my direct left side. Now, there is also a parking space that's allowed in front of that little grassy area, which is right at the alleyway entrance. And so because of those parking spaces, there is already a deterrent in terms of sight lines. So every time I pull out of my driveway, I have to pull up past those parking spots where cars are consistently parked to see if there are cars coming. So that already exists. And it already exists for people entering or exiting the alleyway as well, because there is usually consistent parking in that space in front of that grassy area as well. So the sight line deterrent almost already exists. So I don't know how a fence would be adding to that issue.
Well, I guess I have to disagree with you that an 8-foot or 6-foot high solid fence right at the sidewalk line would be more intrusive and more of a block to anybody pulling in or out. And it also, you will not be able to see if there's a pedestrian coming down the sidewalk when you pull in or out of your driveway.
Maurice, do you have a compromise here?
I don't really have a compromise. I definitely would not want to see an 8-foot high fence. I realize
feel
it's
about
very
it if
small.
I did a 6-foot high fence in that section, Maurice?
I mean, the 6-foot.
I was going to propose
6-foot doesn't.
6.
Yeah, but the 6-foot is better as far as overall height, but it really doesn't change the view corridor out of whether he pulls out of his driveway or somebody pulling in or out of the alley. You can't see the pedestrians walking.
Hi, Maurice.
And as you know,
What
we
about-
never
having a
approve these.
fence- Sorry, Madam Chair, what about a fence that one could see through just on that section, given, the need for sight lines?
Okay, so that's a good compromise. So if you can drop it to 6 and then make it not, have the boards on the fence open a lot more transparent so that you can actually kind of see through it on that part. Mr. Demetriou, will you be amenable to that?
I guess I could be if, I mean, again, and I know how important parking is, but there is a safety concern with cars pulling in and out. And I understand Maurice's point on the pedestrian sight line, but if you're going slow through that alleyway, I don't know how that's going to be a problem. I don't see a lot of issues with pedestrians walking across the way there.
Hi, this is Mike Gideon. So I actually have to pull out of that to get out of. I have a garage in Novak Court, so I use that frequently. I don't know. I'm unfortunately on just a phone call. I'm not on the WebEx. I don't know if you guys can see, but across Novak Court, there's actually a property that comes all the way out to the sidewalk and is actually on Novak Court. So they already have an issue where they cannot see even the sidewalk. And to Alex's point, I, in my car, cannot see anything if there's a car parked there. So I have to pull out just like he has to pull out all the way into the street to see anything. So already everybody goes through there probably at 2 miles an hour just because of the nature of how this court works. And the good news is it's not heavily trafficked either. So I think that even if a fence was erected, even if it was 6 or 8, doesn't matter. If we can't see through there, I already can't see where the fence would be. I have to pull out into the street no matter what. And that was obviously changed when that street went from a 1-way to a 2-way as well.
Thank you, Mr. Gideon. All right, Maurice. All right, so are you willing to be okay with just on that one section dropping it down to 6 and then having like some transparency in there?
I would be amenable to that, yes.
Okay. Mr. Demetriou, can you be okay with that part, just on that section?
Yeah, and the amount of transparency, just so, I don't go and build a fence and then I'm told it doesn't have enough transparency. I mean, again, it's also a privacy thing for me and my family as well. If the sight lines are already obstructed. So how much transparency are we speaking to?
50? Is that okay, Maurice? 50%? It'll just be on that section though, where you're gonna pull your car out from. The rest of it, you can keep it around your property. You can keep it the what you were gonna use before.
Okay, I can agree to that, Ms. Britt.
All right, thank you. All right, I think we have an agreement here.
Madam Chair, this is Liz.
Yes.
Can we get further instruction as to where that would be? I know you're going to want a revised drawing from the appellant, but could you show me the lines where we would want that portion to be? Which portion are we talking about?
Yeah, Maurice, can you, with the cursor, please just show her where that is?
So are you talking about right here?
Yes.
Or are you talking at the corner of the whole thing?
The whole thing, that section.
The whole corner.
Yes. And then there would be, just to clarify, there would be a retractable electric gate at the driveway. And I assume that's okay if that is solid, because that's not in the intersection way.
Correct.
That would be okay.
Yeah, that would be fine.
That's fine.
So I will submit a change drawing that shows a 6-foot, 50% transparency fence along the corner of the alleyway in West 6, solid gate at 6 feet, and then a replacement fence on the side of the property and the front of the property that is 8 foot to replace the current fence line.
All right. So yeah, that's a good negotiation there. Thanks, everybody. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move that the board approve a revised fencing schedule or plan for calendar 22-75 that provides 8-foot board-on-board fence in certain sections and a 6-foot 50% board plan for the section at West 6 and Novak, subject to a new plan being submitted before final approval. And that's the motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second from Ms. Barnes. Go ahead, call the roll.
Madam Chair, Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-75 is granted conditionally. It'll be ratified the following Monday after we receive the site plan, and after that, we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you. And who do I send the site plan to, the revised site plan?
Please send it. Yes, please send it to me.
All right, that will happen. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next case. Calendar number 22-076 at 785 East 185th Street. Louis Dorothy, owner, proposes to erect new parking lot in the C1 local retail district. Pedestrian overlay district is denied. Why does that say that?
Madam Chair, it was typed up verbatim from the notice of nonconformance, so we don't
Looks
take
like
that language out. So it should say proposes to construct new parking lot in C1 local retail business district and pedestrian overlay district, and the appellant appeals from the following sections of the code. Would you like me to read the rest, or?
No,
Okay.
that's on the public record. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Brown for the oath.
Sure. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
Jerome Lewis, address is the 785 East 185th. And I do swear. Was there anything else I had to say?
No, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Byron Bonamici, 1925 St. Clair Avenue. I do.
Angel Washington, 780 and 782 East 185th Street. I do.
I do. Laura Balla, LMB Consulting, assisting with business and building owners on East 185th Street.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 1993, it was changed to local retail business district. And in 2004, the pedestrian retail overlay was established. In our records administration office, we found that in 1927, a permit was issued to build a stores and dwelling structure. 1986, a permit was issued to use for auto sales. 1996, a certificate of occupancy was issued stating that the use of the property was as a clothing store / mixed use. And then in 1998, a permit was issued to change use from office and garage. Then there's one variance on file in calendar 00, and that would be 2000, 00-347. A variance was denied to establish use as a detailing and cleaning for autos for the car sales on site. And Madam Chair, I believe that's all that we have that's relevant.
All right, thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting area variances from the parking lot and fencing regulations of the zoning code To obtain area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lewis, are you the spokesperson for this case?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, present your case.
Oh, I think Byron is. Sorry.
All right. Yes.
Mr. Bonamici, is it you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So we were applying to change the use from car lot to parking lot. So there were 3 different variances that came up, and there was a little bit of confusion because this property, Jerome, if I'm not mistaken, it goes from 785 to 795. Is that correct?
791.
791. So there was a fence permit pulled and approved a while ago for 791 East 185th. And I don't believe that was mentioned in the history because it's obviously a different address. So what happened was in that fence permit, which was approved by HDRS and the City Planning Commission to allow that fence that you see there in the picture. And so HDRS had some things that they would like to have changed. And Liz, I apologize. I sent that to you earlier this morning. I don't know if you need to send it to Maurice or if there's a way that I can share.
I sent it to Maurice. I'm not sure if he'll be able to, well, he obviously won't be able to add it to the PowerPoint. But he may be able to open it on his.
Yeah, so the 2 variances that we want to address first is the fence variance. That was covered in the fence permit. And Liz, I have the B number, if that would help for reference. If you're ready, it's B210000904. And so that should cover the fence variance, everything they asked for, as well as the landscaping. They're requiring landscaping between the sidewalk and the street, kind of where you see those trees. But on East 185th, they're about to begin a complete street renovation that will include the sidewalk. So we were hoping to, we do have a landscaping schedule. Yeah, that's it right there. That we plan to input after the city has completed its project on that street. It's going to be a whole summer thing. So we do intend to do the landscaping that was asked for and approved by HDRS for 791 East 185th. So we would ask to have that variance removed along with the fence one. And then the that first variance, if I can pull that up real quick here.
It's the width of the driveway.
Yeah, so as you can see, it is existing condition. We wouldn't plan on changing it. So that's what we were hoping to have passed here today. That's kind of our primary concern is we don't want it changed, but it already exists. So that's
Okay, so when you got when you purchased the lot, the existing curb cut is where it is right now, and the driveway width is how it is right now. So you're asking to have a variance for that existing condition, as well as because this parking lot takes up 785 to 791 addresses, that the variances that are written don't apply because you already got approval for the 791 address from HDRS and city planning. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure I have that summarized.
Yes.
Ms. Kukla, does that sound okay to you? That we have this parking lot has several different addresses?
Well, Madam Chair, I was attempting to pull that B number.
Okay.
I would defer to Mr. Riccardi, as it is a separate address on the notice of nonconformance. I'm not sure if he would want it to be submitted again with the two addresses. I think it's important to also let the applicant know that where the landscaping is required is from the back of the sidewalk into their property. It's not from the sidewalk to the street. So just to clarify that information on that.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Maurice.
Shannon Leonard is here, and I believe she has a little bit more background information into this project, if you care to hear it.
I love background information. Go ahead, Shannon.
And welcome back, Shannon, by the way.
Yeah, welcome back, Shannon, by the way. When I saw her picture pop up earlier, I was like, wait, what is she doing here? Okay. Hi,
She
Shannon.
loved it so much she couldn't come. She had to come back.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Good morning. Thank you for the welcome back, Maurice and Chairwoman. My family and I have decided not to move after all, so I'm back here at Cleveland City Planning. So this case came before Planning Commission as well as Design Review significantly back in 2021 when Ms. Watley was here, in which I think Ms. Laura Bala could probably speak more to. But this property, actually the property line includes some of the sidewalk. So it's kind of strange that they have part of the right of way within their property line there that you can see here on the PowerPoint. And so this was the plan that was approved by Planning Commission for the off-street parking and the driveway over a public sidewalk, as well as the entrance here. There is a streetscape program that is, Laura could probably speak more to this, but they were going to put these landscaping here for this specific site because they do have this, it was already asphalted in, and they were supposed to be reducing that driveway as you can see on the site plan here. So today I'm not really sure what the difference is, but that 26-foot drive aisle was what was approved at Planning Commission. So the site plan that's presented here on the screen is what was approved back in 2021. So any additional changes I'm not familiar with, and I do apologize. But the Planning Commission did support this based on this plan.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
It's slightly confusing. I'm not sure if Shannon addressed this. I'm just not aware of the City Planning Commission authority on the landscaping, if they're allowed to approve a variance or change from that. Again, that would need a variance for Mr. Riccardi. Do you have that variance? Was that under 791? Is that what we're saying?
No, they're going to still need a variance for the landscaping because city planning can't. City planning only approved the off-street parking within the pedestrian retail overlay and the driveway over a public sidewalk. They'll still need the variance for the reduced landscaping.
Okay, Madam Chair, that is what I think my confusion is that Mr. Bonamici is stating that this has already been approved and that we should take a certain portion off of the notice of nonconformance or the description here. I just wanted to be clear that the landscaping is still required, Madam Chair.
We're still not fully clear. So are we just so is it just landscaping, or do we need to look at the driveway width as well? Or was that part of the City Planning Commission approval?
Laura Bala has her hand raised, Madam Chair.
Ms. Bala, go ahead.
Thank you. I believe there's some confusion because the existing apron leading to the property from East 185th Street is existing, but when the Lewises installed the gate, they shifted the opening and reduced the width of it so that it will meet, I believe, the zoning code. But we are currently in a position where the streetscape has not been done, and it will be done in 2023. But the gate is actually an appropriate width and shifted to the left.
I should have
I think
called
you
on
can
you
see
first,
that on
Ms.
this
Bella.
photograph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have called
Yeah.
on you first. That would have cleared up everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
The landscaping was reviewed by the design review committee and approved, but it is correct. I believe you do need to look at that, that it would require a variance.
Okay, so we are looking at the landscaping variance for today. Are we all clear on that now?
Yeah, I
So,
apologize.
Madam Chair-
I thought it was included in the fence permit. It's my fault.
So, Madam Chair, what I would recommend is that we adopt the changes or the proposal that Shannon has here, and I think that's the intent of the local committee, was to approve this landscaping, which is probably reduced from. I'm not real familiar with this site plan, but I would imagine it's probably a reduction from what's required by code. Correct, Ms. Leonard?
That's correct. It's 4 feet of landscaping versus 6.
Right. So that's what city planning would recommend. This is what the city planning commission approved, and that's what we would recommend.
So 4 feet, a 4 feet strip, 4 foot strip instead of 6 foot. Okay.
Right. And so correct me if I'm wrong, but from what Ms. Bala was saying, the entire, all the curb cuts are going to be completely redone along the street as part of the street renovation project. And so that's why once that happens, then the curb cut there will be reduced from 34 feet down to 26.
That's correct.
That sounds right.
Ah, okay. And of course, as you saw, the fence is already conforming to that. So yeah, that's fine.
All right, fantastic. All right, Ms. Washington?
Yep, I'm good. No comments.
All right, great.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
This might help. I did print off the B number, the documents that were uploaded into the system in reference to that B number. I emailed it to Mr. Rulins. I'm not sure if you wanted to see it or if we just want to make it part of the record.
No, we'll just make it part of the record. I need to pull it up. It's a done deal on that. Okay. So anyone else from the project team has anything else they want to add? I think we all stumbled around and figured this out. All right, board, any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move approval of the proposed construction of the new parking lot for calendar 22-076, providing adoption of the plan approved by the Planning Commission with the fence design and reduced landscaping, but with landscaping and consistent with the proposed new streetscape program along East 185th Street that will change the width of the driveway with new curb cuts. And that is my motion.
Thank you. I'll just add a friendly amendment that the landscaping strip will be reduced from 6 feet to 4 feet. Just
Thank you, Madam Chair.
No problem. All right, can I have a second, please?
Second, Ms. Barnes.
Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have one question. Are we going to hold it pending final adoption from city planning, or are we just going to wait for, we're just going to have comments added to the file at a later date?
We'll have comments added.
Okay, so we are granting it conditionally today.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-76 is granted conditionally. It'll be ratified next Monday, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chair people, Madam Chair.
Chair people. Okay, the next cases, are these, can these be clustered together, Liz? I'm seeing,
Well, they're right next door to each other. They're slightly different variances, just the square footages are different. But for all intents purposes, they're pretty much together. So you'll probably have to make two separate motions, but we could look at them jointly.
all right, well, I'll read them together. We'll look at them jointly, but we'll make two different motions. All right, calendar number 22-077 at 1796 West 47th Street. Green Quest Development LLC owner proposes to erect a 24 by 48 three-story single-family residence with detached garage in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals from relief in the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances. Calendar number 22-078 at 1790 West 47th. Green Quest LLC owner proposes to erect a 24 by 48 three-story single-family residence with detached garage in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals from relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the agenda and on the public record. Ms. Brown, for the oath.
I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address, please. Who's here to testify? Please be sworn in.
I believe, Mr. Gideon, you're muted.
There, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So I do. My name's James Gideon. The address is 36097 Westminster, North Ridgeville, Ohio 44039.
Anyone else for the two cases?
No, just me.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For this particular address of 1796, we found that 1796 West 47th Street, there's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, I found that in 1978, a permit was issued to demolish a private garage. There are no variances on file for this address and nothing of note in the Acela system or more recent history. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the maximum gross floor area regulation of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
That for both?
Yes.
Okay. Sure, same right up.
Yes. It's
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was gonna say, Madam Chair, you didn't read the second one in, so I thought
did.
that we were doing.
I read both.
Okay. All right. Well, if I could state the history for the 1790.
Sure.
The most pertinent information is that 1979, a permit was issued to demolish a two-family dwelling on site. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Gideon, go ahead. Tell us what you want to do.
Yes, so we were denied the this because of the square footage. And what I had submitted like a little chart, and I don't know if we could bring that up, or I could do my screen share. It would have been a little a chart that I had with all the square footage comparisons of surrounding houses.
I don't seem to have that. I don't think you need it either.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't need it. These are two of the easiest variances that we've had all day, so go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Maurice. I was gonna say, we don't need that. This happens a lot.
Yeah.
We understand.
You can keep it
Okay.
short and sweet.
Yep.
So in that graph, I had like 16 properties on West 47th and West 48th, and a couple on John, only because I used to own a rental property down there. And what I did is I laid out all the square footages in relation to the square footage of the lot. And the reason mine's jumping over the amount is because I wanted to finish out that third floor. And the main reason I want to finish out a little bit of the third floor is to put like an office or a bonus room up there. Because
we see these kind of cases all the time, and normally it's because someone's adding a basement or a third floor. So
right. And I did a bunch of comparisons, and there's a ton of houses where my footprint is smaller in relation to all the other footprints. And then there was actually a new house constructed at 1941 West 50th, and they have 2,762 square feet on the first and second floor alone, not the third floor. And their footprint is substantially larger than mine. So just their first floor square footage is at 40%, and I'm only at 27%. So my point is there's just a lot of other properties, and then in this area, they're getting more. In my, it's a quality built house. We have a garage. We have a decent sized backyard. There's plenty of outdoor living area with a front porch, the two front porches, the rear covered porch. So I'm just asking that I be granted the variance. And these plans were not with the third floor, but we did run it by the City Block Club, and they were all in favor of it. And all we're doing is just adding that extra third floor. And it's primarily because of COVID. Everybody's working from home now or wants that ability to work from home. So with just the 3-bedroom, we just wanted that extra ability to do it. And it's cheap space. And it's, like I said, it's not like I'm going from a 2-family to a 3-family and stuffing more people in it. I just wanted the extra room to make it more saleable.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and both parcels are exactly the same size and the exact same situation. So,
yeah, we can see that. All right, thank you, Mr. Gideon. All right,
So,
Maurice,
Madam Chair,
for the record.
Madam Chair, obviously, for all of the reasons that Mr. Gideon stated, we obviously support this proposal. As you know, as you could see from the site plans here, he's not requesting any side yard or rear yard variances. So it's obvious that these two houses do not overwhelm the sites. He has rear-loaded garages accessed from the alley, also a huge plus. I can go on and on, but we 100% support the approval of this variance. Thank you.
Thank you. Board, if no questions, I'll entertain a motion. These very simple variances here.
Madam Chair, I'm not sure, I'm sorry to interrupt. Not sure if you stated this, but item number 2 on the first one, and it would be
Yeah,
item
I
4.
will in the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, proceeding. Regarding calendar number 22-077, I move approval of construction for the 3-story single-family residence with the third floor bonus room. What's being proposed is consistent with the new construction initiatives in the area and approved by the City Block Club. And note that item number 2, that this requires approval from City Planning Commission, I assume, or planning before issuance of the permit. And that is the motion.
Thank you. We'll just add that is approval we cannot give as Board of Zoning Appeals. It's 341.02. Everyone will commit that number to memory as we move on in life. All right, can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second for Ms. Barnes. Go ahead, call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-077 is granted. It'll be ratified next Monday, and we will send the appellant a letter.
I also move approval of calendar 22-078 for all of the reasons stated on the record for calendar 22-077. And further acknowledge, as our board chair suggested, that section 341-02 cannot be approved by this commission, and this approval before issuance of the building permit is subject to planning approval, and that is the motion.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second for Ms. Barnes. Go ahead, call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-78 is granted. It'll be ratified next Monday, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on, calendar number 22-088 at 12309 Grimsby Ave. This is an appeal. Erie Bay Land Company LLC owner appeals under authority of section 76-6B of the Charter of the City of Cleveland and section 32902D of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances from a decision of the hearing officer dated March 24th, 2022 to uphold the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Works issuance invoice. Will not read all those numbers regarding abated nuisances, grass cutting at the subject property.
Okay, I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Natasha, 500 Lakeside, protest manager.
Natasha, I could not hear your last name. Can you say it again?
It's Brewster.
Thank you, ma'am.
Brewster.
I have it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, the appellant here?
It does not look like the appellant is here, Madam Chair.
Okay.
And they didn't show up for the original hearing either with me.
Which is why we're here now. Okay, can
Right.
you hang on a bit, Ms. Brewster? We'll go to our last case, and if they don't show up, then we'll just we'll move it to another date.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Chair, I also don't see the appellant online for this one as well. I was speaking with them this morning. Would you be all right if I give them a call and see if they didn't receive the link or something? I just sent it this morning to them. This is, again, the appellant for Brook Park.
Brook Park. Yeah, we'll give you a couple minutes. I did it.
All right, I was unable to get them on the phone. I did email it to them again.
All right, well, they're not here. Neither is the appeal for the grass cutting. So we're gonna move on to old business. All right, old business 1 through 5 and number 9 without objection, board.
Without objection.
No objection.
Okay, and request for affirmation here, calendar number 21 dash, okay. Is that 156, Liz?
Looks like it.
I apologize, yes.
Yeah, okay, because I'm like, we don't normally have that many numbers. Okay, 21-156 regarding LG Blanket Mills changing the use of the building to 60 dwelling units. Is this, Liz, is this because they're about to expire and they need extra time?
Liz,
Think
you're
you're
muted.
think you're muted, Liz.
Sorry, yes, I was. Yes, exactly. Their variances are just about ready to expire. And they, of course, state that they had issues with completing the drawings, the full construction drawings, and needed more time to do that.
Yeah, I'm all for asking before it expires. So without objection, board.
Without objection.
No objection.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, what was the address on that? Do you know? Remember, Liz? Was that over there in the metro area project off of Clark or Fulton?
If you give me a minute, I can go grab the file.
No, you don't have to worry about it. I'm just curious.
I apologize. Usually I put them on there. Last week was a mess.
Just trying to remember which one that was. I think it was a really good project, but
Yeah, I think
okay, I guess that's it.
But yeah, that's it. All right, Nina, hopefully you'll be back next week.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't scare you away.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. I will be back.
All right, great. All right,
Welcome.
everyone. Yep, everyone
Thank you,
have a
everyone.
good week. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.